For the health talk, I thought I'll share something more practical and a few remedies that will help in a few sicknesses and diseases. So, when we talk about health recovery, right, there are three factors that are very helpful and very important in bringing about reversal of any sicknesses. So, one is divine power. Okay, divine power, if it is not there, we are not going to get any result. Second one is there are laws that are working in nature that we have to understand and apply it. And third one is obedience to this law. So these are the three factors. So let me read few statements from the Word of God that help us to understand the first principle, which is the power of God working to bring about healing. So in Exodus chapter 3 verse 4 it says, I am that I am, the one that exists by my own power. So God is talking about someone who has life in himself and who can provide this life to another person. In Exodus 15:26 it says, I am the Lord that healeth thee. Psalms 103 verse 3 he says, He it is who forgiveth all thine iniquities, who healeth all thy diseases, who redeemeth thy life from destruction. There are some quotes from the Spirit of Prophecy. It says, in Jesus is our life derived. In him is life that is original, unborrowed, underived life. In us there is a streamlet from the fountain of life. When the physician attempts to do, okay, what the physician is attempting. So we know the physicians are working to bring about healing in the body, right? They are attempting to do, it says here, Christ can accomplish. Look at the words, how beautifully it's been framed. They strive to prolong life. He is the life giver. Okay? Man can do so many things to sustain life, to bring about healing, and to progress, and to develop. So many things that we can do. But ultimately, it is God who is on the background working to bring about healing. Jesus, the mighty healer, is physician in chief. The physical organism of man is under the supervision of God, but it is not like a clock, which is set in operation and must go of itself. The heart beats. Pulse succeeds pulse. Breath succeeds breath. But the entire being is under the supervision of God. There's a song actually, it says, be careful little eyes what you see. Be careful little lips what you speak. There's a Father up above. He's looking down and down. This song so beautifully talks about how God is watching over his children day and night. So there's no emergency with God, right? For us it is an emergency. For it is an accident, we say. But for God, he already knew before we could be born that what we are going to go through in our lives. So there is no emergency with God. And God is the one who is watching over you to heal. The Creator watches over the human machinery, keeping it in motion. Were it not for his constant care, the pulse would not beat, the action of the heart would cease, the brain would no longer act its part. So we see how beautifully, there are many quotes actually, these are few quotes that have been selected, talk about how God as an important factor in bringing about healing in our body. Second, we'll look at a few remedies that we can use for certain health conditions. Okay, I want someone to come forward who can help me cut the potato. Anybody who would like to volunteer yourself? No one? Okay, thank you, Sneha. Hello, check. Can I connect this projector?
Lunch.
As Sneha is cutting the
Vegetable.
yeah.
Thank you so much. So here I'm going to show you a small video of how we all know this, right? Table salt. Okay. So this is very freely available in the market. So I'm going to show you what this common salt can do for some of our dental issues. Okay. Now this is a small video. Under the microscope, you're going to see some amoebas and you're going to see some bacteria that are actually working to decay the teeth. Okay, so here you see, sorry, I think. Okay, so here you see there is some amoeba over there. These are amoebas that is being shown in the video. And the salt water, you can see there's something running over here, right? This is actually salt water. Okay, so he's introduced salt water. The doctor has introduced salt water in a place in the teeth where there is amoeba and there is bacteria. Now you can see the amoeba slowly starts to reduce in size and activity. You're able to see? These are amoebas in the teeth, okay? These are all amoebas. So you can see how salt water, and we can see a lot of bacteria here, right? They're working on the background and they're doing the work of decaying the teeth. And see how slowly they start to reduce in the size and functioning also. So this is what happens when we take common salt. It's very simple, you see. Even if you're having infection in the throat, you can actually take little bit of salt in a glass, all right? Sometimes we have to show these things practically so that otherwise we don't believe, right? So you take little bit of, and you see the size of the amoeba, how it is reduced. You can actually see that, right? Within seconds, right? Probably a minute or two, you see the amoeba is dead, right? So you take salt in a glass. If you're having throat issues, if you're having tonsillitis, swelling and all this is very powerful, I'm telling you. Salt, which is so commonly available. And also for brushing your teeth, we go for toothpaste with salt, right? I'm telling you, take salt from the kitchen. It's readily available. See, look at the amoeba, the size they have reduced, and see the functioning of the bacteria, they're all gone, right? See, the bacteria which were there, which were working to decay the teeth, they're all dead. Probably one or two you can see here and there. So salt is very powerful in bringing about healing, right? Okay, now the next thing that we are going to see is potato. How potato can help in people who are having issues with fistulas, hemorrhoids, right? Who are really having issues with fistulas and hemorrhoids, they can use this potato. You see, if you keep the potato for a while, it turns brown, right? Okay? Why is it turning brown? Even apple, when you keep it, oxidation, right? So the potato is taking the carbon dioxide from the air and releasing oxygen. So this reaction that is happening is actually turning the potato brown. So it's kind of dying, right? In dying, it is giving out life. Oxygen is a healer, right? So same thing happens with our wounds, pain that we are having. So people talk about poultice for the face, right? Face mask with potato and all this and all. So what it's doing is it's actually giving oxygen to the skin where there is a wound. And it's taking the carbon dioxide from there. So bringing about healing. So potato is very good for hemorrhoids. And the size actually should be a little bit smaller. So you have to work on this and see which one you're comfortable with. And there are sharp edges when you're cutting the potato. Make sure that it is not very sharp. Okay? You can use some oil, right? Or chocolate also is very good antioxidant. So chocolate and oil, and this potato actually brings about, it's very powerful. This potato treatment is very powerful for hemorrhoids, right? So people, you can just insert it into your rectum, okay? And people who are struggling with hemorrhoids, constipation and all this issue is really helpful. I have a testimony to share about, it's not only working for humans, also with animals, okay? This works. So there was this place when I was getting trained, there were few dogs, puppies, okay? For some reason, they were all dying. The dogs were dying, don't know what is the cause. And I used to notice that in the stomach, there were kind of syringe holes, okay? It could be snake bites, I don't know. And they used to bleed. And the next day, they were dead. So it used to happen with dogs, almost 5, 6 dogs, we had puppies. And they were dying continuously, alternate days or something like that, they were dying. And I noticed a dog that was bit, and I was like, okay, this is going to die the next day. And then that is the time when we were studying about this poultices and natural treatments and all this. Then I was thinking, okay, why not try the same poultice for the dog, charcoal poultice. We were studying about charcoal poultice, how it will help with snake bites. And also, when we are not well, the body throws up all the toxins in the colon, right? So that it can be released from the body. When you're not well, you have to clean your colon. When you're having headache, clean the colon. When you're having indigestion, clean the colon. It's very powerful because colon, if it is clean, the healing is more faster. So what I did was, I made a suppository like this with a potato, a very small one for the puppy, right? And then from morning till night, this puppy was actually laying under a tree and it was not able to move around. It was very tired and it was going through a lot of suffering. So it was under this tree. So then just to, I thought, okay, let me try this out. So I made a charcoal poultice, put it on the wound, and then I made a suppository and inserted it into the rectum of this puppy. Okay? No sooner, as soon as I did this, within 30 seconds, the puppy is running around because it wants to pass motion. People who are having constipation, this is very powerful. So it wanted to pass motion, and then it went past the motion, and the charcoal poultice was there for it. And the next day, it's all right. It did not die, okay? And then the puppy is still alive now. So, very simple treatment with potato. Potato is very powerful for healing, in the places wherever there is wound. So, for people with hemorrhoids, you can try this one. And also, for people who are having thyroid issues, hypothyroid and hyperthyroid, I'll finish within 2 minutes or 1 minute. Okay, so having thyroid issues, actually, cabbage juice is very powerful. Okay, people who are having hyperthyroid, okay, which is very common, not rare. The rarest one is hypothyroid, right? So for hyperthyroid, where the thyroid levels are very high, to suppress it, you have to take cabbage juice. Cabbage juice is very powerful. It has got a chemical in it called hydrogen. So this chemical actually helps in suppressing the functioning of the thyroid gland. Okay, so you can take cabbage juice and all the cruciferous fruit, vegetables that you see in the market, cauliflower, broccoli. These are very powerful to suppressing the working of the thyroid gland. And people who are having hypothyroid, which is very rare, right? So for you to bring about the working very well, you need to take kelp and seaweed. You get these things in the market, so that is very powerful. There was a research that was done with this kelp and with these seaweeds, where in a country where they wanted to test the iodine levels that will increase by taking these vegetables. They found out that these are very good in bringing about the iodine level very well. So generally we take salt for thyroid, but it's not helping because these are processed, right? The body, whatever is natural, the body can take it very fast. So seaweed is very powerful for thyroid, who are having thyroid issues, and also kelp. So there's some things that we can take from nature, the laws from nature, and as we saw 3 factors, one is God who is there, and second we saw there are laws that we need to understand. Third is obedience to this laws. When we understand it, if we apply these things in our life, we will see results very soon.